Hello, hello, hello. What's up? All of my favorites. I have a special surprise for you guys today. I'm here with Miss Raquel, and she has an amazing story, an amazing testimony. She is actually a mom of 4, right?
Yes,
a mom of 4,
right.
and also a wife, and also
Right.
a business owner, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh, she does everything. And so today we're just going to share with you, and she's going to share with you some of her story and her testimony of how she makes it happen, right? Because like that's what everyone's thinking right now. All these other women are like, oh my gosh, like I have 1 kid and I haven't been able to figure it out right yet. How do you have 4 and find time to exercise and to eat healthy? And the awesome thing is with her story, you guys will hear more later, but she's lost 26 pounds, right?
Right.
6 pounds, 20 inches, and 8% body fat. So like this isn't just like she makes it happen. Like she has been making it happen, and that's in the past 4 months. So we're super excited to talk to you guys and for her to share her story. Hopefully the goal of this is to help motivate you women out there that maybe have kids, you have husbands, you have full-time jobs, and you just feel like, oh, like how do I get the time in, right? So Raquel, first question for you. Your backstory. So tell us a little bit about like what your life is like and the busyness and the day-to-day for you, what that looks like.
Well, like you said, I have 4 kids. They are 10, 11, 12, and 15 years old. So that puts them in 3 in junior high and 1 in high school. Yeah, right. So we're very, very busy. They're all in some type of sport or activity. We live about 25 miles from town. So bringing them to and from school, we have to, do travel time as well. And they're just, like I said, every day is who's picking up what kid, when are we doing it, what time do we have it, who's on the schedule. We have to call this one and tell them we missed this sport because we can't be in 5 places at one time. Right. And so we're also very active in church. And so with that, we could be in church anywhere from 3 to 5 days out of the week. So we help with a lot of behind the scenes. We're in auxiliaries. We're leaders in our church. So that adds an extra, we have extra meetings, extra things like that. Right. That's why we do.
Ladies, that sounds like your life right now. You're like, I'm all over the place every day. Like, I'm taking the wrong kid to the wrong practice.
Right.
Sounds like you guys, right?
Wash the uniform. Oh crap! Just wear it dirty. It's okay. Nobody knows you're going to sweat in it anyway. So yes, that, and then along with the fact that I do have a cleaning business. I've had it now for 4 years.
Wow.
And right, but I'm ready to give that one up. And I'm in the process of now transitioning from my cleaning business into selling clothing, which we could probably go into later because my daughter got sick. That's one of the things that happened in our life. So we're always busy. There's always something we're doing. And actually we got called in. One of the people called in today. They can't make it to work. And I had to send my husband and my daughter to go because I said I have an appointment today that I can't miss. So yes, life happens. I got to go pick her up after this while he goes to church to praise and worship rehearsal and then come back and get everyone eating dinner. So that's my life.
That's so awesome. So, before you like decided to lose the weight, right? Before you started like being consistent and eating healthy and working out and deciding to make it happen, because it is a decision, right? It is a choice. And
totally.
Before that moment, like what were the biggest struggles for you? What was like the things that were like your downfall, the reason that you couldn't ever like stay consistent in the first place? What were those things that you were struggling with?
Well, to start off, I had started this program in May. Mm-hmm. And so I struggled for 6 months on and off. I started, I stopped, I lost 9 pounds. My why was for Puerto Rico.
Right.
Oh, I take a trip to Puerto Rico. Well, I lost 9 pounds knowing I needed to lose way more than 9 pounds. Went there, gained 9 pounds back.
Yeah.
Because I had bread every day and my family cooked. And came back, and that was about August. And what happened between those 6 months was I was trying to do it myself. I would lose the weight first, and then I would celebrate that weekend. 1 cheat meal, 5 cheat meals.
Yeah. Like, oh.
I did it. And then I'm like, oh crap, this sucks. And then I would fall off. So in those 6 months, I literally started and stopped 1,000 times. I fell 1,000,000 times. I even said, I'm not doing this. I forgot about the program.
Are you saying that you didn't just go straight to success? Like you're saying that you messed up and like got back on the road? Is that what you're saying?
Right. I decided until I finally decided when I got back, what was stopping me was, and it was something that clicked because I really realized what it was is I was holding myself back, of course, but it was my negative thoughts.
Right.
I was like, wow, it clicked. I'm my own abuser. I've been abusing myself for all these years, just mentally abusing myself. So when I would fall, it was like, see, told you couldn't do it. Yeah. See, why bother? Just have the whole cookie. I mean, the box. And that's what I would do. And my downfall was sugar. And so I was a massive sugar addict. I would literally wake up sugar wasted. My kids would literally yell at me because I ate their candy. Mommy, you ate my candy. And then I would promise them more and then they would hide it from me. And my husband would yell at me when he's like, where's my candy? And I'm like, you don't bring crack to a crack house. I'm an addict. And then he would yell at me. Yes. And he would yell at me and I'm like, I have a serious issue. And so I tried to work out altogether and eat and do everything. And it just became overwhelming. And I think that's really, other than the negative, I try to do it all in one. I try to 100% eating clean, 100% working out. And that was just not realistic for my life. Mm-hmm. I refused to wake up early. Kids. Right. Right. And I refused to wake up early. And so that was for me, if this is going to sacrifice my sleep, it's not worth it. Right. Right. Now I get up at 4 a.m. to work out. So needless to say.
What was that moment? You're like, you made it sound so easy just now. Like I went from this to, oh no, I just get up at 4.
No. Okay. So the change.
What was the moment that you were like, I'm done. Like I'm done with this. Like I'm changing it. Like I want to change my health. Like I'm done. Like you drew the stand. What was that moment?
So that happened right before Halloween. I don't know which came first either. I don't know which came first, but I sat down and I was speaking to the Lord and I was just like, Lord, I can't do this. I'm just so weak. And I'm just like, I help me. I'm like, you help me through all of these other things, but I'm not allowing you to help me with this. And that was at that moment. So like I have visuals of me and God talking. And so I saw him sit back with his arms crossed and said, I'm just waiting on you. And that's the moment it clicked. I'm waiting on you. And the next day I went to church, and in our church, we have a wall of the fruit of the Spirit, of the love, joy, peace, goodness, gentleness, kindness, self-control, long-suffering. And he asked me very specifically, do you have love for yourself, joy for yourself? Are you gentle to yourself? Do you have self-control? And at that point, it clicked. At that point, I was like, if he can do all these other things in my life and I call myself a Christian, I need to let him deliver me from this. Yes. And so that was the point that I was just like, it became a weight loss journey. It was a weight loss journey. And then it turned more into a spiritual journey than anything. He told me to fast from sugar because that was my addiction. And then 2 days later, I believe you came out with hot over the holidays. I was like, yes, I got this. And so I gave up sugar for 57 days.
Wow. 57 days. That's too much.
Yes. Giving up sugar, anything less than 6 grams of sugar, I did not touch it because I know anything over than that really triggers the beast inside. Mm-hmm. I did it, and it was just the moment of, I got to do this. And then my why became deeper. I really dug deep in my why. And my why became, it's not fair for my kids to have to take care of me because I'm not taking care of myself now. It's not fair for someone to give up their life. You know, my husband always says, well, one of them at least have to like us. And then he tells us which child we're going to. And I was like, well, one will love me. One at least.
At least, 25%.
Yes. So, and that's where I was like, it's not fair. It's not fair to them. And that's where it all clicked. So when I started it the day after Halloween with all the candy in the house. And that's the longest candy has ever stayed in my house. And I started it, and I just started it with nutrition. And I started it with, I have to eat right first. And I said, I have to get this right. And then after I got my nutrition right, again, all that 6 months, I had one great meal and 6.5 bad days. And then it just slowly shifted because I refused to do day one again. I refused to.
I refuse to do day one again. That is so good. For those of you that are right now, comment in the comment box. I refuse to do day one again. That is so amazing. Write that down.
Me or them?
No, them. You already know it. I said it. You can quote Raquel on that. So here's my question. Like, when you started, like, what was the external desire? Like, the external desire that you wanted to be healthy, and like, what was the goal weight and the external things?
So meaning like, how much did I want to lose and what is it about? Okay. So I was just thinking, I was thinking I just wanted to lose about 20 pounds. Mm-hmm. And my goal weight is exactly what I'm at. Like, it's not even like, I didn't even like stop there. It just, everything stopped. My goal weight. So I was just like, holy crap, this is amazing. And so, I just didn't want to have a muffin top anymore. I was so tired of wearing a darn girdle in Arizona. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, in Arizona, you were melting.
It's like 105. And then you have fat rolls that are sweaty.
It's like a microwave. You like want to warm up your food, just put it in there and microwave.
Right. And then you take it off. It's like you're wearing the sweatband. It was terrible. And every year for like 5 years, I'm like, this is the last year I'm not wearing a girdle. And every year I didn't find the right program. And finally, so when this came, I got my nutrition in check. I started seeing results without working out. And then the motivation hit. And then what if I go work out? I wonder what will happen.
Yeah.
And so then I got a Bowflex. And then my other clicking moment was when my husband, I got a Bowflex, $125 on like one of the local sales sites.
Damn.
And we had one before and I sold it. Right. I got rid of all my equipment because I hate working out, or I did.
That's how we all started.
Right. So we got it and he was like, well, where are you going to put it? I was like, can we just put it in the garage? And that's his area. Like, So I was like, please. And he's like, well, I guess until you stop using it. I was so offended by that comment. And I used that
every day just because you said that.
Right. And I was like, what? And so I did it. And I started off with 1 day. And now I also have like severe asthma. So I was limited on cardio. And so the results that I got in those 2 months were just weightlifting. And then I was like, whoa, what happens if I add cardio? What will happen then? So even though it was 26 pounds, it really was a progression. Like 1 day at a time, just I'm doing the meals. I got the meals. It's a no-brainer now. I don't think about it anymore. Now let me incorporate workouts. And when I did that, it was 1 day a week because it was in my garage. The kids were like, when they did their chores after dinner, they were like, Mommy, you're going to go work out. And I was like, yes, I'm going to work out now. Get your chores done. And by the time I was done,
right? That's how you make it work with 4 kids. You work out at home. You bought gym equipment for $100 and bam, threw it in the garage. And that's how you work out.
That's right. And for anyone who doesn't have the room for it, you could get free weights at the thrift store and put them in the corner and you could still work out with even just free weights. I started with 3-pounders and I was like, oh, I can't even do this. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Totally.
Right. So
yes, the thing you wanted to change internally. So like externally, like, yeah, you wanted to lose weight, you want to lose 20 pounds, but like internally, what were the things, maybe like confidence or self-esteem or, just like things that you wanted to do or aspired to be? What was the internal motivation for you?
I had been fighting this journey for so long as an adult that I just wanted to overcome it.
Yeah.
It was more of not, I'm just tired of being fat. It was, I'm tired of not allowing God to do this for me.
Yeah.
He healed me from brain surgery, needing brain surgery. He healed my marriage. He healed so many things. And I'm like, I know he can do this for me. So when I fully submitted to him, and I know my story is more of a spiritual thing, but that's how God used this program to tap into my spirit. And so when that happened, it was like, I felt so strong. I felt like now when I look at the fruit of the spirit, yeah, I have joy about myself. I have peace. I have confidence. I have self-control. I can eat a brownie. I can eat a chocolate chip cookie and just one. Normally, you know those donut holes?
Yeah,
I would eat a whole bag.
Yeah, for sure. No problem, right?
Right. And so now so that's internally what I wanted to do. I wanted it to be like, devil, you're under my feet. That's my fat girl inside of me, is the devil. Devil, you're under my feet. You're not going to take control of me. And my kids kept seeing me fail.
Yeah.
And I was over them seeing me fail. And they're like this because my husband's like this.
Yes.
So
here, part of your testimony was that your children, just like you were just saying, like started seeing you struggling, and were hearing the things you were saying to yourself and started saying them about themselves. So tell our audience here more about that. What your kids saw you doing, and what type of role model you were then to them, and what was rubbing off on them.
So what happened was I trained them to see me fail. I trained them. That's why my husband said what he said. Well, okay, get it. But okay, when you're done with it, then we'll just get rid of it. And so I trained them for that. So I really couldn't get upset about it. But when my daughter, they're all underweight, first of all. Like me and the white dog, me and the dog, the husky, we eat everything in this house. And so other than that, everyone else looks underweight. So the issue was just that. It was they were seeing me, they would eat their pizza and then give me the crust, and they were just so used to that. And so when my daughter, who's 15, was like, oh, I was like, oh my God, you're underweight. You're like 5'7" and under 100 pounds. And that was my moment that I was just like, I am sticking to this because I need to show them that if you put your mind to it, that God can do it for you, and that he will see you through it. And that's exactly what he did. And so now they look at me and they're like, is today your cheat meal? And I'm like, mind your business. Like that.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So for all these moms on here, what do you think that the other moms that are listening need to hear?
Our kids are watching, and they're watching what we're doing. They're learning how to live their life through us right now. If we react, that's how they're going to learn to react when they get older. So if I stress eat, then that's what they're learning, how to stress eat. I never had an issue growing up with gaining weight. It only happened once I graduated from high school. And with that, I never learned how to eat. So when I got older, it was a progression of just, I thought I could eat whatever I wanted to eat. And that wasn't the case. So I learned I need to teach my kids what's good and what's not good. Right. And they have to know why, even though you're thin, I told my daughter, my 15-year-old, I was like, even though you're thin, you can't overeat, because that's just a bad. Yeah. You have to eat to eat. And then that's it. Don't just keep on like shoveling. And that's what they learned from, don't be the garbage disposal. Yeah. Right. So I would say they're watching, and be consistent.
Consistency, right?
Right. Be consistent.
It's key.
Be consistent because, go ahead. Sorry.
Tell us, like, in your daily schedule now, how do you make it work that you like make your healthy meals and you like plan your workout? Like, how do you make that work in your schedule with your life being so hectic?
Okay. So I have just recently, and they pretty much, the girls know that girls meaning lady bosses, know that I have been, I am training for my first bikini competition, because that has always been a goal for me.
That's awesome.
And I know, huh? Terrifying too. And so things changed up a little bit as far as the workout goes, and eating and stuff like that. But the way I did initially, I would take about 3 hours, like on a Sunday, and I would make all my chicken, all my turkey, all my meal plan. Like, I'm not a person that likes to eat the regular things over and over. Mm-hmm. Like people do the vegetable and the starch and the meat, and I don't like doing that. So what I did was I made all my proteins, put them in individual canisters, and then I made my sweet potatoes. And I don't really like brown rice, so I really stick with sweet potatoes. And then my vegetables were always. I don't like a lot of things, actually. I thought I wasn't picky, but apparently I am. I don't like
right now.
Right. I don't like to reheat vegetables. So I just buy the little individual packets Steam Fresh. And so what I do is I figure out what am I going to do that next day? And then what I do is I just take an empty container and I mix and match my food to what I want. So ground turkey ends up being either a turkey burrito, it ends up being spaghetti, it ends up being the cauliflower and turkey, and I have all of that already pre-done. And for my family, it turns into their dinner. So I've pre-cooked our dinner and their dinner.
That's awesome.
And I've made it, so
and you can just mix and match it, and you're not like, it's not like the same things, and it's already like in a container. You just kind of mix and go. That's awesome. Right. That's a great way to do it. So, question. You are like one of the, awesome lady bosses in our group that are on our program. And I just want to know, like, what is your favorite thing about being a lady boss?
The support we give one another. It really is. What I discovered in my journey is that I didn't share a lot of my journey with any of my friends or family for a long time, because I found that they were pulling me into their negativity. Mm-hmm. It became okay for our Christmas. I was in charge of the hot cocoa, of course, and I was fasting from sugar. And I'm like, oh, put me in charge of hot cocoa. I can't
that way, right?
I was like, well, I can't taste it, so good luck on that. And so for the parade, they're going to work now. So for the parade, I was in charge of it, and the one girl goes, should we add sugar to it? I'm like, it's the cans with the sugar already we don't need anymore. And he goes, well, just because you don't want sugar you're not eating any sugar doesn't mean we can't eat any sugar.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but I didn't say that. And then another time I was at Olive Garden and I was like, please take the bread away. Like, I just want to lick it. Like, just let me lick it. Right. And she was, just because you can't eat bread doesn't mean I didn't say that. I said, take it away from me. That was a point that I just totally was like, I'm done.
Right. And you get that pushback from people, right? Like when you're on your own journey and you're trying to change things in your life, like you get that pushback from the people around you, the people that you feel like should be supporting you the most, you get that pushback. So what would you tell the women who are on here that are kind of feeling that pushback right now and haven't yet broke through to just like doing it and not, what would you tell them?
Don't share. Go on about your business like it's your business.
Yeah.
Don't talk about meal prepping. Don't talk about working out. Don't talk about the lady bosses. Don't talk about anything. And then what happened is that I really it was like God was like, it's time for you to give your testimony. I didn't want to. Who wants to put up their before picture, the most worst, lowest that I've ever been? No. And he said, put it up now. And when I put it up on my personal Facebook, it was like just an overwhelming sense of support. I didn't share the journey. So to them, it looked like I've only been doing this for 2 months. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for 8 months. I fell for that. That's the biggest thing. Listen to what I'm telling you. 6 months of your life.
Yeah.
Get with the program. And so when I finally decided to share it, now they're supportive. Now the people that were saying what they were saying has now turned into, can you help me? That's all. It didn't know. It was exactly that, a reflection of themselves. And they wanted to pull me in, and I just stopped talking. And my husband was neither supportive nor non-supportive. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Until, whatever. Until he started seeing progress, and then people started seeing, and then he's like, man, I'm really proud of you. And I was like it was like, it was, and it wasn't that he wasn't supportive in that sense. I just was like, he would yell at me for being on Facebook all the time. And one day I turn around and say, you don't understand. We need sparkle. I'm having a bad day. And I need to get on my Facebook page and look at this girl had a bad day and I need to tell her it's going to be okay. And so he was yelling at me. I was like, I'm not on Candy Crush this time.
You're like, I'm helping someone, right?
Right. And so it became right now. I have an accountability group is a must. I have a group of awesome ladies, 6 girls that I got together with, and we talk to each other every single day, good, bad, no matter what it is. When I don't hear from them, I always, where are you guys? I don't hear from you. I have 2, 3 other people from LadyBoss that I talk to.
Accountability important, Raquel. Tell everyone why accountability, why having a group is important.
Because they help you to get your mind back right. They help you to say, okay, you messed up. It's all right. So did I. Get back on track. Or remember, right. Or remember what your goal was. You told me you were going to do this, and now you need to do it. And so with that, but in an accountability group, you have to be honest. You have to say, I ate the whole complete cookie. Not half.
I ate the whole cake.
Right. And that it is important. And some of my best friends have come out of this group.
That's
that
awesome.
I'm not even that close to people who live out here with me. Mm-hmm. It's my group. So that's why I'm always looking like I'm on the phone.
Yeah, I'm always, totally. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I totally get it. And accountability is just so important because it's beyond yourself, right? Like, you have to hold yourself accountable to the things that you told your group, and hopefully your friends. I know for the LadyBoss group, especially, like, we will make sure that you are holding yourself up to that standard that you set for yourself. And it's really important because the days that you'll start to try to let yourself down or beat yourself up, like, you have your accountability group. That's right. So last question. Have you read any of Big Fat Lies yet?
I did, the first 3 chapters.
Okay, so guys, for those of you who don't know, Big Fat Lies is my new book that just hit #1 on Barnes & Noble and #1 on Women's Health on Amazon and #1 on Exercise and Fitness on Amazon of books, which is awesome. So Raquel, tell us what you think about the first 3 chapters so far that you read.
I thought, here's what was eye-opening is well, first of all, you're so like us. You always said that your father had killed himself when you were 16, but when you set that story and you said exactly, like, you showed us, like, it would be your relationship with your dad is like mine with my mom, and that's what I connected with. Holy crap! It's like my mom doing that, and my world would have been flipped upside down. And so with that gave me a new, like, view on, wow, and she did. I can see why you spiraled out of control. I can see why all of those things happened. And then how you just flipped it. So like with UTA, which I highly recommend, with UTA, it really breaks down, like, what are the issues that you have? What are the things that are holding you back? What are the things that are making you question yourself or not get to your goal and stuff like that? And how are you going to push through it? How are you going to make it happen? Because that's really not an option. It's not an option to live a certain way because our circumstances are what they are. I just have to say this. At the time that I lost weight, my husband lost his job, #1. So we were working. He was a primary person. So we were working day and night with our cleaning business, trying to get money into the house and all that other stuff. My daughter was vomiting black and we couldn't figure it out. And she was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and was hospitalized for 11 days without eating, 3.5 hours away. And we had to move. So 3 major life-changing events. And that was the time that I lost the most. So there is no excuse. There is no, there's just, you have to make a decision. It's not about, I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. It's not about motivation. It's about determination. Like everyone says, I need motivation.
It's not about motivation. It's about determination.
Yes.
Right, ladies. I want to see that.
I'm still trying to find it. I need motivation.
That's why motivation is a feeling. It does not exist. Yes. And people keep waiting.
And you only get it when you get to the gym.
To sprinkle them on the head, right? And be like, you're motivated now. It's like, no, that doesn't happen. It just takes will and determination that you're going to do it no matter what.
Yes, and that's it. And that's why you see me posting pictures of the clock that says 5 o'clock in the morning, because I woke up at 4, took 30 minutes to make my coffee, because that's my pre-workout, make my coffee, get in the car, and then drive another 30 minutes to the gym, an hour. And I have to do 4 a.m. because I would not, if I talk myself out of it. I talk myself out of it. When I wake up, the alarm goes off, I'm like, bing, that's it. My clothes are there. I have to check my tags at the gym in case they're inside out. And then that's it. Everything's packed. Everything's ready to go. So now I'm consistently at 5 days a week of working out. Of course, I have a goal, but I believe that when the time comes after I finish the competition, because that's on my bucket list, this is part of my life now. I love it. And the fact that I have all these injuries that I had to overcome.
Right.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. Absolutely anyone. Anyone. And that's why I'm so excited, because when I see people killing it, I'm like, just do it. And people expect that we're going to put them down. But gosh, we're not. It's like, just show love. Just show the love. And people are going to start gravitating towards you. Absolutely. And so it's turned from Facebook LadyBoss to real world LadyBoss. I have 5 ladies who joined.
It's over, right?
Yes, and I love it, and they're excited, and we celebrate those 3 pounds that they lost, just like they're celebrating when your child goes potty for the first time. Yeah. Like, it's like, woo, we throw a party, because it's so worth it. So any of you ladies that are down on yourselves, the first thing you need to do is stop talking to the devil. That's what I realized. I wasn't talking to God. I was talking to the devil, and he was making me realize what a failure I was, but I'm not. And so if I can get over it, then anybody else can. Definitely.
I love it. So before we go, is there any last thing that you would like to tell all these women before we get off here? Just a last word of encouragement for them, for all those women out there that might be struggling with, something. They might have lost someone. They might just feel like hopeless, or they might feel like they don't know what to do. Like, what's your a word of encouragement for them?
That our circumstances do not control our emotions. Our circumstances are what they are. We are always going to have some type of something going on, whether it's a major life event or if it's something that's just, sorry, my phone didn't go off. or if it's something that, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. And it doesn't mean that what you're going through isn't important. Right. It just means that you need to put yourself first. How can you love everyone around you if you can't love yourself? How can you put everyone first if you can't sit there and say, I deserve to treat my body good. I deserve to treat myself to a workout, because we're getting old. And so you have a choice to continue doing what you're doing, or you can choose to say, I'm taking control of my life. And once that clicks, that attitude clicks, you look at everything else with, well, you know, she called in. Well, I guess I'm just going to go to work today. And, oh, well, this happened. And I guess I'm just going to do this. You find the silver lining in everything that you're doing. And that's just it. You got to look at the positive, not always the negative. So
that is awesome. I love that. I love that. And, you know, Raquel, your story is so inspirational. Like, all these women on here that are moms are just like, they're just like blown away right now. You know, and if anything, guys, the takeaway from this is just that you can do it. If Raquel, who has 4 kids and owns a business and has a husband, and if she can do it, you guys can do it. And you just have to start with believing in yourself and letting go of those negative things that you're telling yourself that you can't do it, and just start telling yourself today, like, I can do this. Like, it's okay. Like, it just makes me stronger for the fact that I have kids and a husband and a full-time job. Like, I can do this, and look at the testimony that it will create for someone else. And I'm just super appreciative to you, Raquel, for being on here and sharing your time with us. And you know, I just thank you so much for inspiring all these women, and all these comments that I'm seeing come through here right now are just unbelievable of everyone that you know, has just been inspired by your story. It's just awesome, the reach that you've been able to have, and that you've been able to touch their heart. And that's just great. And I just appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate the fact that you were obedient to God. And in my life, that is the most important. Because of your obedience, my spirit leaped when I saw your video, and that's what caused the change. And so I thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without your obedience, I would not be here.
Oh, you're not supposed to make me cry on here. We're supposed to make everybody else cry, not me. Take it. Oh my God, thank you, lady. And thank you, all you guys watching this interview. There'll be more to come. And make sure you share this video so Raquel's awesome story can get out there, and more moms that you know can be inspired by her story. And we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.